those of you who just recently joined. So we're going to wait 2 or 3 more minutes for people to join. Thank you. Dulal, can you put your presentation in the first slide, please?
Sound share questo. Is okay, Christian?
No, if you're moving your slides, they seem to have froze. So we are not in the first. We're not in the cover slide. You can move your presentation to the beginning.
Oh, okay. That I am going to do that. Yes. This is my first slide.
Okay, thank you, Dulal. So
You're
hello.
welcome.
Thank you. Kirsten, we have 15 participants. Shall we move ahead?
I think so. I think given it's December, we may not have very large participation. So I think it would be great to get started. We have a full agenda.
Okay.
Okay.
Great.
Good afternoon, Christine.
Just a second, Dulal. Thank you. I'll give you the floor in a minute. So hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening to you, and thanks for joining the monthly call of the Reference Group on Inclusion of Persons with Disabilities in Humanitarian Action. So this is the last call of the year. We've made it. So thanks again, all of you, for joining. So today we have, as Kirsty said, a busy agenda. So we have 2 presentations. So one from Mr. Abdus Sattar Dulal from BPKS in Bangladesh. So he take us through the experience of his organization engaging in humanitarian action in Bangladesh. After which Light for the World would make a brief presentation on their recent translation of the ISC guidelines into Swahili. And then we move to the 2 standard agenda items where the co-chairs will do some updates, and we'll hear also from the various working groups on how they are doing with the current work plans. So without further ado, thanks again for joining. We have 20 participants, which is good. So Dulal, I'll hand over to you. So you have 15 minutes for your presentation, and then we'll move to Q&A for 5 minutes before handing over to Light for the World. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Christian. Thank you, everybody in the DRG working. And it is a honor for me to have time with you in this presentation. And I am Abdus Sattar Dulal. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of this organization and also the founder of this organization. Work in this field last 7 years time. Bangladesh Pratibandhi Kullan Shumiti initiated from 1982, but formally it was established in 1985 as a fundamental organization of all types of PWDs. And Bangladesh is a beautiful, friendly country in South Asia with 150,000 square kilometers, with 160 million people. Majority, that is about 89%, are Muslim people, and country is moving with the harmony of with the all types of religion. And Bangladesh is somewhat maintain a democratic system, but suffering with the discrimination, low to high profile corruption, unethical practice, lengthy judiciary practice. The most of the system are inaccessible till now in country. There is some exception, of course. Humanistic management is also a big challenge. Public-private service and opportunities are discriminatory and relevant policies are not enforced. But Bangladesh is somewhat developing and progressing. I'm the founder of this organization, and after my accident, I was fell down from a T in 75, 42 days I was in coma, and then I have a 7-year treatment. In this process, same time, I also started a small business in my community, in my village, and also started a youth organization in grassroots level. And at that time in 1983, I have the opportunity to join a Swedish funded project run by the Social Welfare Department. But I was, due to my dissatisfaction, I take so many movement in there, and, I win in that movement also. And then I thought that we need an organization with all types of disabilities in country, and then it created in 1985. BPKS is an organization of, organization of all types of persons with disabilities, fully governed and led by themselves, ensure safeguard of their ownership, effective representation, non-influence decision with democratic practice and recognition of values of OPDs, which is very important. It is like a woman is the member of the women organization, and the architect like a member of the Architect Association. So that we call the OPD our organization. This organization maintains 3 tier. One is the National Council, which is the highest body of the organization. Another is the National Executive Council. Every month we have the meeting, every 3 months we have the meeting, and executive director of the organization is the management. You see some photos, and the top photo is our board is taken oath from the election commissioner. And BPKS is an ideal organization of persons with disabilities, non-governmental voluntary organization committed to promote persons with disabilities, real rights, policies, and practice and capacity of OPDs. Initiative of persons with disabilities enable them to be effective and equal citizens and contribute to the sustainable development of a non-discriminatory and resilient society for all. BPKS envision that all types of persons with disabilities enjoy happiness with dignity and live independently in a barrier-free family, society, public facilities, and are equally contributive to their own and national development for all. Our organization believes that rights of abilities of all ages, including children, are to be established at any cost, and nothing less than to non-disabled person, and that should be the equal opportunity compared to the non-disabled person. This organization have a strength. We have millions of people directly benefited by this organization, and indirectly all people of the country is benefited in somewhat. And our strength is we maintain our standard and transparent governance system, and with a dedicated professional and with or without disabilities. Our staff, among the staff member, we have about 66% with disabilities. More than 41,000 grassroots member we have in country, and we have a relation with the government, with UN bodies and different stakeholders. We have a universal types of holistic approach that called PSID, and we have the 30 disabled people's organization that will build the capacity of them at the grassroots level, and also another 100 OPD. We have a network and relation, and also given them several training and you see some photos in the picture, so that tell you, I think, the reality evidence. Personal disability self-initiative to development. It is the approach of us that lifting the citizen with disabilities as center of the development, not just beneficiaries or recipient of this action. Details of PSID available www.bpksbd.org. And we have it value, we focus the values, and our work is value focused, that we respect the PWD's potentials. We also maintain the humanistic attitude, and we maintain democratic system. We maintain respect the dignity of the human and sustainability of the organization also. And there is some example of its activity. We have a health and accessible sanitary program, promotion of OPDs and capacity building, intellectual capacity building. Under it, we have a 20 training program, promote access to public service, including health, education, humanitarian, etc. Promotion of employment, advocacy and networking, sports and cultural and recreation, promote political participation, which is very important today time. And you see some photos here too also. Here is some photo. You see in the corner in the left, there is a election commissioner, chief election commissioner with the body. We meet with them to increase the political participation of disabled people in country. So here is another example that is we given it very tough priority for the women with disabilities, that promote the empowerment of women with disabilities through facilitating their active participation, promotion of leadership, and also networking of them, address their other needs of PWDs inside of BPKS, and BPKS given the priority to the women with disabilities in every level. As you know, the article number 11 UNCRPD state that state parties to ensure the protection and safety of the person with disability in situation of risk or humanitarian emergencies. BPKS approach promote protection and safety of PWDs in any risk and emergency situation. BPKS consider it not only a humanitarian issue, it is also a human rights issue. You see the two photos that in the Rohingya camp with the all international staff work there. We given a training to them in that camp to ensure that refugees with disabilities are included in every action of the UNHCR. Here is some direct example about the humanitarian work, what we do. We undertake firstly assessment of the needs of PWDs on humanitarian context, and based on types of context, BPKS develop emergency and risk reduction and management action plan, guideline, etc. BPKS develop collaborative and partnership with the government of Bangladesh, as well as other national and international organizations, including the United Nations agencies. For example, we have a network with the WASH group that internationally formed. And then we provide training on disaster response and management to the disabled people, provide medicine and treatment assistance, food and nutrition support, house reconstruction, installation of accessible sanitary latrine tube wells for safe water and repair, provide capital support to the restart PWD's livelihood activities, arm cloth. We are also running now a distribution of the arm cloth to these 4 PWDs in country. Provide 5 days residential training on COVID-19 and management to 300 PWDs leaders of OPDs, referral to medical assistance we've given, food and nutrition support to 100 CWDs at the COVID time. We given arrange skills and provide capital support to 100 PWDs, disseminate awareness information on COVID-19, conduct advocacy with relevant parties and seminar organized at national level, conduct a research on the effect of COVID-19 on PWDs that is available in online, BPKS facilities are friendly based on COVID-19. Our organization is friendly to the COVID-19. Until today, what we achieve in this regard, 9,000 families with disability receive food, humanitarian, including capital support, including COVID-19, 1,377 PWDs. BPKS provide disaster and COVID-19 response training to 2,200 PWDs leaders and professionals, and they replicate it in the grassroots level. BPKS installs 750 sanitary latrine and tube oil and the constructed 1,500 houses. BPKS is instrumental on updating the relevant policies. BPKS provide orientation to UNHCR International and the national staff on promoting access of refugees with disabilities at the camp activities. What challenge as OPD we face and OPD itself face in the national level? OPDs types and their leaders' capacity building issues are viewed from biasness of the personal wish and some other interest groups persons. Due to lack of sustainable future of PWD, OPDs, most professionals, PWDs and non-PWDs staffs not continue their job long with OPDs. Government and donors still now not value the UNCRPD Article 32. Interest conflict impact on OPD's sustainability. OPD is exploited and dominated by non-OPDs. They are professionals increasingly for using the donors' fund. Lacking funds lead to OPD's unity and networks less stronger. Make it less stronger. Most of the humanitarian action implemented without solution of roots of situation problem. Some problem we are able to resolve, we are able to prevent, but till now we are not focusing to that. OPD's participation not recognized by the humanitarian action. Donor hire professionals from non-donor country to make their management cost effective. This creates risk of sustainability and image of OPDs. So donors should think about it. Bangladesh is in risk of climate change. Funding partnership with OPDs is critical to address the humanitarian needs of PWDs, including at grassroots PWDs, severe PWDs and women with disabilities. They survive with more risk as first victim. Formation and capacity of self-help groups of refugees with disabilities, awareness, ongoing technical support and support needed at refugee camps. Advanced strategic partnership and budget plan should be prepared. Multi-stakeholders collaboration on humanitarian action should be formed under leadership of OPDs. UN resident coordinator and UNHCR resident representative should promote the engagement of OPDs and reduce the discriminatory action. OPDs should advocate, organize consultation and dialogue with the government and donors to ensure enforcement of policy commitment. All UN agency and donor in Bangladesh should engage OPDs as development partner as per Article number 32 of UNCRPD. Government, OPD, and other relevant stakeholders should work together with partnership to achieve the spirits to address the humanitarian needs of PWDs, like make the right real, no one left behind, nothing about us without us. These are the slogan. This spirit is very important to maintain, to follow. Donors and government should create proper budget head with effective and knowledgeable OPDs. Government and development partners should safeguard the OPDs from interest groups. One national and capable OPD should choose by the donor as lead OPDs to support the all other OPDs with funding of appropriate donors to implement the humanitarian program for OPDs, as like BPKS is doing. OPDs should lead the capacity building program for government and development partners. COVID-19 affected PWDs should be supported. As you see the some photo that we provide some nutrition support for 1 month to the children with disabilities. So I close my speech with the thanks to all of you, and please watch. This is a one minute video here that we organized a national congregation with 100,000 disabled people was gathered in 2006. Every 4 years we do it.
We have just seen our special program being inaugurated by 4 children.
আপনারা জেনে থাকবেন এদেশের মোট জনগোষ্ঠীর
As you are all aware, people with disabilities make up 10% of Bangladesh's population. They are deprived of their rights and dignity and lead a very difficult life.
Therefore, we request that all of those involved in this sector come forward and work together to ensure
right about barrier-free access and the development of people with disabilities so that the government and society can be enlightened. In concluding today's congregation, I would like to fervently declare that we make an announcement. The full participation of the people with disabilities present here, the eradication of poverty, and the creation of discrimination-free society. This is the resolution people who have participated in the National Congregation 2006. Let there be full implementation of all the laws, rules and regulations and workplace orders regarding people with disabilities that have been approved by the government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh and signed in national, regional and international documents. There must be participation from people with disabilities and their own organizations in all sectors involved in poverty reduction and development in Bangladesh.
let's march forward and not fear any danger. Let's not hesitate to make the right decisions in our lives.
So thank you very much, Christian. Hello.
Yes, thank you very much, Dulal. Thanks a lot for taking us through the journey of BPKS in Bangladesh, and also particularly for sharing with us your challenges and recommendations on how to engage more with the sector. So one thing I should have said at the beginning is that we do not always have the opportunity to have an organization of persons with disabilities presenting at the DRG. This is something that we want to promote more and try to balance the presentations across the different constituencies of the DRG. So thanks again, Dulal, for your presentation. So let's move now 5 minutes to any questions that anybody may have who would like to shoot. Unless, Kristin, there is any on the chat box, which I don't think.
I don't see any in the chat, no.
Okay, so the floor is open. No questions from anybody?
Here is my email address, phone number, everything is there. Anybody want to send me question or asking for information, I am available always.
Yes, Sander, please go ahead.
Good morning from Europe, from the Netherlands to everyone. My name is Sander Schot. I work with Light Fulot. I actually have one question, Mr. Dulal, and that is, you've been in the sector for a long time, and it's very interesting to see the whole journey of the organization since the very start. What do you feel are the most how do I say that? What do you feel are actually the best achievements that we have been able to make so far in the last, let's say 5 to 10 years, and where you feel like there we really need to continue pushing in terms of disability inclusion and the humanitarian action?
Yeah, I think that 3-4 things is we achieve in last 10 years or 20 years time. That is the, we have a legislation, national and international treaty, we have law, we have, and our leaders and peoples of the country perception is changed, converted into, I mean, they consider the disabled people's rights and development are needed. So there is no disagreement in this regard. And thirdly is there is so many disabled people by crawling from home, though there is not accessible, they go to the university, they go to the education institution, and we BPKS from us, 40,000 children with disabilities are enrolled in the primary school and secondary school level with our support, our counseling, our advocacy, etc. So there now, many of them are now university level, they have a job, they're doing things now. And their organization is established. Many organizations we have here in Bangladesh now, OPDs. That is another achievement. And so these are the achievements. But major challenge, what I see, as I said in my presentation, but in the global challenge is the big, that is the political participation. Is we must needed political participation at every level. You know, that I just in 8-9 conference of the UN SCAP in this month organized, I given my speech there, and I given this recommendation there too. And also collaborative approach, collaborative initiative program is very important, like a B, C together, including the OPDs that should be take the leadership. That is another recommendation. And also OPD need a kind of safeguard, because there is so many interest group is increasing in the name of disabled people to support the disabled people. But in reality, resources utilized, disabled people are not really have the support from them. And that is another issue that we need to, we ask them. And in regard of the humanitarian context, that we said that even in the SCAP meeting, I said it, that OPD government and development partners should come with independent plan with appropriate budget allocation to address the need of persons with disabilities, including at grassroots PWDs, severe disabilities, and survive with more risk, as they are even women with disabilities, those who are more surviving in the grassroots level, you know, more critically they face. In the COVID-19 time, in frankly speaking, actually donor is high. It looks like, you know, nobody is called the disabled people. Nobody was see the disabled people. It looks like at that time, all humanitarian organization is die at that time. So I also mentioned it in the Humanitarian Management Network conference. I was closed that conference in last month. So that, you know, that is the, I think is the big challenge. And last not least, I want to say that please love the OPD, Organization of Persons with Disabilities, as like we love the women for their organization, for their rights, as we promote them in our job, in our any participation, any leadership position. So same thing, it is for disabled people, it need more critically, you know, you need one step more critically, you need to consider this issue. So that is that I want to say that. And you know, in the Rohingya refugee camp, that is many disabled, I know the disabled people are struggling for support. They don't really entertain properly because of the distance of the house to their service center. You know, there is so many challenges, behavior challenge, you know, there many disabled people are shy, feel shy. They are not able to walk long. You know, their accessibility is another issue, assistive devices is another issue, but fund is utilized there, but not really focusing the disabled people. It's very, you know, contradictory, and it is very, I want to say that these are the some challenge I want to say, and that is why I said that OPD need a safeguard from you people too also. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Dulal. There is one other question on the chat box from Saf Noah. and I can read it to you. So recently, some discussions have started on meaningful participation. What actions and lessons from this project we could attribute to meaningful participation? Or how will you define it considering this project? I guess he's referring to your experience as an organization and your participation in both development and humanitarian programs.
Meaningful participation, you need to choose the meaningful organization like BPKS. You know, I very clearly tell you, you need to see you need to find the person like me. Those have the experience, those have the understand and really work with OPD with a vision. There is 1,000 OPD established for their self-employment, you know, by the disabled people, 1 disabled person or 5 disabled person. But those OPD we consider today, out of those OPDs is 80% are not really OPDs as per definition. So, and this is one of the challenges for the donor, for the development partners to find who and which organization is the appropriate. So in regards of the participation, I mean, you need to choose an organization like BPKS. You need to choose a person like me to have the effective participation. You know, recently CBM was, you know, developed this kind of guideline. Some woman is working from India. She was considered me as an expert. I was given a lot of input in that process. And participation of the disabled people, you need to consider, you know, many things, you know, just a disabled person come, you given a traveling cost, given a transport cost, and they come and they participate, attend in the meeting. This participation is not meaningful actually. Participation means that disabled person led the event to talk. They should talk. They should tell the reality. They need to tell their factual situation, tell the vision, and they need to link with the policy, different policy documents. And my friend, you see, till now, we don't find, for example, in my country, there is a committee is formed for disabled people. In the committee, 20 people are sitting and only 1 disabled person are the member. So 19 are once non-disabled and they are authoritarian people. So 1 disabled people, what they do? This is not a participation, you know. So this is very critical. This is very important. I also mentioned this issue in our you know, UN SCAP meeting in last 8 and 9 December.
Thanks a lot, Dulal. So I'm just mindful of time. I would love to continue, but as Dulal said, his contact details are on the screen. We will share the presentation in any case with anyone. And whomever wants to get in touch with Dulal, please feel free to do so. Sabrina Herrera is also sharing on the chat box a recent research piece that you know, HI, CBM, and the University of Bochum have done in Bangladesh, which can provide more insights into this topic in the context of the Rohingya camps. Thank you, Sabrina. Thanks, Dulal.